Alright, YouTube, ponder this. You want to build a case with electronics inside it. You want it to be waterproof and rugged, and you want to be able to fasten a control panel on it, like the one you see here. As an aside, the electropermanent magnets ended up into these drop modules that I had CNC machined. Granted, the spray paint job isn't the best, but, you know, spring-loaded release, that's what this is for. I'll do another video about the electromagnetic release later. So you can see here I've got this knockoff brand Pelican case with this acrylic control panel mounted on the front. A couple parts missing here or there, but for the most part it's complete. You can see a little love mark here or there depending on the camera angle, but in general this control panel is very sturdily mounted. I can bear down with a lot of weight on it on these 3D printed brackets on the sides, and this is not breaking. The acrylic is going to break before the brackets break. So how did I do this? Well, Pelican cases and knockoff brand waterproof cases all tend to be made with a fairly inert plastic polypropylene. Some of them are reinforced with other fibers. One moment. Alright, last screw's out. I can pull this panel up. Alright, so inside here you've got all these brackets mounted on. How did I mount them on? You normally can't adhere anything to polypropylene. It's extremely slippery, and it's known as a low surface energy material. Surface energy is really this, I guess, ambiguous term that material scientists use to quantify. Well, okay, I shouldn't say ambiguous. They actually have a scalar value for surface energy that they calculate out by some, I guess, means that are beyond me right now, from my understanding. But surface energy is effectively the chemical stickiness on an atomic level, or molecular level, I should say. You've got van der Waals forces, electrostatic interactions, and hydrogen bonding. So with polypropylene, it's just carbons and hydrogens. There's no polar groups, there's nothing available to really hydrogen bond, so it's just down to van der Waals forces. That's why if you use most stickers on polypropylene Tupperware, you can just peel them right off. Some stickers will stay on, and they will stay on with a vengeance, and then you've got to peel them off like that. But in general, polypropylene is a low surface energy plastic. Teflon is a low surface energy plastic. What that means is it's very difficult to get solvents to wet the plastic. Wetting is when the solvent, sorry, not the solvent, the adhesive actually spreads out and binds to the surface of the material. Otherwise, it's just kind of floating on top like oil on water. It won't really stick to it. However, there is a way. 3M makes a series of acrylic adhesive tapes called VHB, very high bond. Fairly expensive product at like $50 a roll, but the hold strength is phenomenal. Even VHB tape, regular VHB tape I should say, is insufficient to glue onto polypropylene. However, they do make a low surface energy variant of VHB tape, and that's what all of these are stuck on with. So all of these are just press adhered on with, you know, just clamping force from my hand. I didn't even use a quick clamp or anything, and given a day to really kind of set up. Oh, 3D print just finished. As well, in addition to that, I should show, I have an aluminum panel mounted to the bottom, which will be ultimately mounting all the electronics to. I just have to unmount it here to show the world. In the bottom, I actually have these self-designed shock mounts. They're M6 coupler nuts or standoffs that are just set into a block of 3D printed plastic, ABS, using a self-leveling polyurethane concrete caulking compound, and they're amazingly resilient. One on their own, it's actually fairly wobbly and compliant, but when you combine all four together and the design prevents it from pulling out, you've got shock-mounted electronics on the inside. You've got a front panel that has a little bit of give, not very much, and it's a waterproof case. You didn't have to drill through the sides. You don't have to, tap or machine the plastic in any way. You just stick it on. So there is a way to do this, and so far I found that this VHB tape just sticks with a vengeance to polypropylene. Whatever sticks, it's not coming unstuck without a lot of work and probably damaging the part. I did a test on a scrap piece of UHMW and a spare 3D printed part. Unfortunately, I didn't film it, but I actually got substrate failure where the part starts to delaminate before the adhesive starts to fail. It's a foam adhesive, so there's a little bit of compressibility and actually quite a significant extension or stretch that it can undergo elastically before it permanently deforms and ultimately starts to tear. So the adhesive substrate bond will be the last thing to fail with this VHB stuff. It's great stuff. Not to be mistaken with great stuff spray foam, which is terrible stuff because you get it on your hands and it's a nightmare. Other than that, if you're ever looking to build Pelican case electronics or knockoff brand Pelican case electronics, 3D print yourself some brackets or fabricate some brackets and stick them in with VHB tape. If you're using a real Pelican case and you have a lot of money, then you can get the specific Pelican case models that have this frame which can set in, and it's actually got some pointy grub screws that you just use an Allen key and screw in, and it holds itself in by just pushing into the plastic on the sides by friction. And it's just as good a secure mounting mechanism. Again, if you have the money. If you don't have the money and you just want to do something quick and dirty, well, relatively quick and dirty, 3D print brackets, VHB tape, and you're good to go, right? Print yourself some 3D printed shock mounts with some self-leveling soft polyurethane compound, and your electronics are shock mounted as well. Not a single hole through the case, waterproofed, good to go. Yeah, so that's a quick little YouTube video. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and comment. I'm curious to see who else is trying to do Pelican case electronics and what they have found to work or not. Because I've seen a lot of videos where people kind of describe things but not go into too much detail, and they've also simply just mounted stuff on by brute force and ignorance, hot glue or bolting through the case, and I don't want something that looks ugly. I want something that looks very sleek and well fit. So that's pretty much my solution here. Anyways, that's enough for this video. Like, subscribe, comment, talk below. See you later.